Yo, listen, man. This takes me right back to fucking 99. Listen, shout out to Eve with Scorpion turning 20. I gotta be honest with you, I never heard Scorpion in full, but I definitely heard some of her joints, okay? So here's the thing with Eve. I fucking loved Eve, man. Like, the first shit I ever heard with Eve was Got a Man, this beat, right? And, man, that shit had me sprung. I mean, I was I was a teenager, I think, when that shit came out, and I was just like, oh my god, like, if I could get a girl like Eve, you know what I mean? The whole shit, I just loved the beat, like the way she rapped on it. She killed it. She killed it. Like, you know what I mean? And it's instant classic. It was classic then. It's still classic now. And it's actually one of my favorite Swiss Beats, like, joints. Period. Right? I think he really put his foot in that beat. I heard some rumor that it was supposed to go to Aaliyah, and Aaliyah didn't do it or something like that. But it makes sense if that's the truth, because I could totally see Aaliyah hopping on this shit. This shit is beautiful, man. So, Eve is one of the rappers that I think doesn't really get enough props. I think she was always really dope to me. Like, her vocals, like, she can rap for real. Like, I've seen her do her live shows and stuff, and her vocals live are crazy. So, she's got talent for real, you know? Like, I would put her on the list and say that she's, I would say, top 10 greatest female rappers ever. And just a great rapper in general. You know, top 100 ever, male or female. You know, top 200. Like, the point is that she's up there, right? Like, in terms of her contribution to hip hop culture and shit like that, right? She's got joints, man. Like, Got a Man, Who's That Girl, Satisfaction, Let Me Blow Your Mind. If I'm forgetting some other ones, please tell me, because actually, I'm just remembering that the Scorpion shit is turning 20, so I'm actually going to go and try and listen to Scorpion. I never felt that her albums were great, to be honest with you. I think I tried to listen to that first album that she came out with, and, it was cool. There was a couple of dope songs, but it wasn't like something that made me go, like, this whole thing is flawless. And I think that's kind of Eve in general. I think Eve is kind of like that person that will give you, like, 3 great songs in an album, but the whole thing won't be necessarily great. But correct me if I'm wrong, honestly. I can't remember the name of that first album, but it didn't do much for me. Like, again, it's interesting, like, how I didn't hear it at the time, and I think I tried to go back to listen to it, and it was kind of like, yeah, I see why I didn't hear much of this at the time, in terms of, like, outside of the singles or the cuts. Because that's the thing with hip-hop, man. Like, hip-hop fans were a lot closer back then. So, like, the joints that really were hot, people played them shits. You know what I'm saying? Like, you would hear them, even if you didn't hear it on the radio. It was just something that people would talk about, be like, yo, did you hear that song? And then you'd listen to it, right? So, in a way, like, the best shit always got circulated, which is just how it is in general with music. Like, if you have an album that no one's ever heard about, and it's supposedly one of the greatest albums ever, it's probably not. Do you know what I'm saying? Great music inspires sharing. It inspires itself to be shared. Because if a song's amazing, you're going to be like, oh my god, like, I can't wait to, like, talk to people about it. You know what I mean? And so the songs by Eve that are amazing, I forgot, what's that one with Swizz? What y'all niggas want? But can't touch. That's my shit too. But, you know what I mean? You would hear these shits. So, the songs that were great by Eve, I feel like they kind of already got circulated, and the album cuts, not necessarily as strong. Love is Blind is one of those songs that people talked about with Eve a lot. Love is Blind was cool. I didn't really care for the beat, but the message was important and it was a very real record. And she put herself out there. That's what I'm saying, man. Like, you can be the sexy chick and all that. That's fine with me. But I find that the problem with rap is that nobody wants to say anything. Nobody wants to make music that really, like, fucking hits you. People are afraid to be themselves and shit. Like, Eve came out, she was sexy, yeah, she was street, whatever. But at the same time, she clearly had shit to talk about, right? And it's not like her songs were always, like, deep or anything like that. She wasn't even like that, necessarily. But the point is that if she wanted to get deep, if she wanted to say something, she would say it. And that's the problem to me with a lot of these so-called rappers of nowadays that people put on these pedestals. Like, there's not even an ounce of fucking depth to them. Like, literally. Like, there's never a time when you're like, yo, this person could get deep. And then they decide to. It just doesn't exist. Right? I never got into Nicki Minaj and that shit, man. Honestly, I always thought Nicki was trash. And when I see people put her on lists and stuff, I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, I'm sorry, I come from a different era, man. Like, I came out when Lil' Kim was doing it, and Foxy, and Eve, and Missy Elliott. You know what I mean? Like, the fuck am I gonna be impressed by, you know, Nicki Minaj and Cardi B? Like, come on, man. Come on. It's like, there's levels to this shit, man. Anyway, I'm gonna talk to y'all later.